Culturally, economically, politically, and literally, we're in the 21st century. But as we turn the pages, the storm rages and it feels like we're in the Stone Ages. As the decade comes to an end, I want to remind you of this horrible bend we've had to withstand. On February 14th, 2018, our country faced something it thought it had never seen. Or so we thought, but on April 20th, 1999, America had already witnessed a similar event, Columbine. You'd think 240 shootings in, we'd collectively grow a brain and establish stricter gun legislation, but it's crazy. Politicians are lazy. We stay concerned over less important topics, like Elon Musk smoking weed and frats being more philanthropic. We're wasting time we can't afford to lose, so let's come together and put some real problems on the news. Our planet is dying. I can't give it to you more straight than that. Everyone wants to talk about it, but not take action, saying stuff like, no cap. Ice caps are losing their integrity, making oceans rise, but that's no surprise. We can see it in our eyes, but government saying climate change is just a bunch of lies. I have to hand it to Greta Thunberg. You might have heard she's Time News' 2019 Person of the Year, but it shouldn't have taken us this long to make her message clear. She did what we couldn't and forcefully made her voice heard, eloquently, impatiently, and with a firm word. Now lastly, I want to talk about something that hits personally, because nobody knows about the horrifically, terribly, unholy, cruel things happening to people just like me. You may have heard Muslims in China being put in concentration camps and being tortured, but I'm sure you don't know the extent of what they've suffered. Being beaten, bruised, and physically abused is a daily nightmare for them as they are being used for labor or dirty work by the government, which is bent to protect and not meant to subject these citizens to define their own practices. By forcing them to renounce Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and eat pork? Do you know how whack this is? China wants the world to stay silent while it goes violent. But people are rioting, emotions are spiraling, and every day, more and more citizens are quieting. You're setting a bad example for the coming generation with all this aggravation, agitation, and marginalization in your nation. Communism is so 1940s. Can't we implement something from sooner? Because the only thing we have to say about China being red is okay, boomer. Jokes aside, it's up to us to come together now. I don't care about your race, religion, orientation, but we have to figure this out somehow. We have to address these crises as soon as possible to ensure the next generation's survival in a world that is optimal. I don't want my kids growing up worrying about getting shot in school or being discriminated against for practicing Islam and being drowned in a pool. I want them growing up in a free and healthy world where we learn to love everyone and anyone. I want them to be able to see the sun, not a sky full of ash being suffocated by all this gas. I want them to play in the grass, just like you and I. Take a second and look me in the eye. If you don't care about any of this, please tell me why.